Who before the election were backing 502 are now willing to get up here and tell you the things that have been wrong with it. I'm glad that they have joined those of us who have seen the flaws for some time now. People like Steve Surich, who told you all along the truth about 502, and people like Joanna McKee, who told you all along to vote no on 502. But it's the law we have now, and it's a step down the road. We've still got a long ways to go down that road, and it's important for us to do it, because as you've heard today several times, if you can't grow it yet, it's not legal. We've got to get there. The relationship we have with this plant is too important to let anybody come between you and the cannabis plant. You don't need the Washington State Liquor Control Board to come between you and the cannabis plant. You don't need those guys to tell you, oh, okay, you can have some, but just an ounce at the time. You don't need the Liquor Control Board to tell you, oh, okay, it's kind of legal, but you can't grow any at home. You got to buy it from us. How nice for them, huh? You got to come pay overtaxed prices instead of growing something you could easily grow at home. That's why we're not where we need to be yet. The reason we need to be there is because this relationship between the human species and the cannabis plant is something that's been going on, according to the best archaeology we have, for at least 12,000 years. We have such a close relationship to this plant that it responds intelligently to our needs. This plant has evolved cannabinoids to fit the cannabinoid receptors we have all over our body. Of course, we all know about the ones in our brain, because when you get high on marijuana, those are the cannabinoid receptors in your brain saying thank you. Those aren't the only ones. You also have cannabinoid receptors scattered throughout your body. That's the reason that cannabis is as medically effective as it is for a wide variety of conditions. This plant has co-evolved with the human species. In fact, this plant has played such an important part in human evolution that many scientists, Carl Sagan included, believe that the cannabis plant may be responsible for the birth of human civilization itself. The fact that we wanted to cultivate the cannabis plant may have been what transformed early hunter-gatherer societies of human beings into people who finally settle down and make communities and farm crops. The fact that we farmed cannabis 12,000 years ago and that it has co-evolved with us throughout human history means that we don't need an intermediary to say we give you permission to have up to an ounce. Until they get out of the way, until the Liquor Control Board isn't between me and my cannabis plant, folks, we're not where we need to be yet. We don't need a middleman. This plant is straight from nature to us. We don't need a Liquor Control Board. We don't need a 1 ounce limit. We don't need somebody telling us we can't grow this God-given plant at home. We're not going to stop until we get there. We all know that cannabis can treat a wide variety of medical conditions, and it's not just snake oil, because we have this human endocannabinoid system which has co-evolved along with the cannabis plant. That's the reason cannabis works as well as it does in as many ways as it does. If you are interested in knowing more about the co-evolution of the human species and the cannabis plant, you might want to start out by Googling endocannabinoid system. If you want to take a shortcut, you can try out tokesignals.com. If you want a short history of the relationship between us and this plant, which has changed human society in a lot of different ways, you can read a book I wrote called The Little Black Book of Marijuana. It's been out for about 3 years now, and as a matter of fact, a new edition is coming out later this year, updated with the latest legalization information. So until we get to where we need to be down the road of cannabis legalization, until we have reached the end zone, until we can all grow without fear, until we can smoke in public, until we can share with our friends, until we can finally get rid of the faulty idea that we need to regulate this stuff out of existence, we're not where we need to be. I hear a lot about regulate marijuana like alcohol. Why in the world would you want to regulate a non-poisonous plant the way you do a deadly poison? Alcohol will kill you if you drink too much of it. Marijuana's not going to do that. You don't want to regulate marijuana like alcohol. You want to regulate marijuana like tomatoes. Tomatoes actually, Kat is right, tomatoes are more dangerous than marijuana. So, I mean, we're being generous in saying they should regulate cannabis like tomatoes. We're being reasonable. We're actually giving them more than we should. Good point, Kat. Jared Alloway can tell you that marijuana is a lot safer than alcohol. Therefore, it shouldn't be regulated like alcohol is. We are not going to be where we need to be until marijuana is treated as another vegetable in the garden. We all want to be able to grow. We all want to be able to carry forward this wonderful tradition, this 12,000-year human tradition responsible for the very beginnings of civilization. We want to carry that into the future. We don't need anybody to come between us and that wonderful heritage. And let me tell you, cannabis is your birthright. Cannabis is your heritage. Don't let anybody tell you it isn't. Don't let anybody tell you you should be ashamed of the fact that you have a relationship with this plant. This plant responds to our needs. It produces the cannabinoids we need for homeostasis. It allows us to balance our minds and our bodies. It allows us to come together peaceably as human beings. Even when there are people who you might not agree on every little aspect of policy, you can still come to an agreement with them if you smoke a joint and talk about it. Folks can get along when they try. It doesn't always have to be a pissing contest. This is important stuff because the goal which we seek, which is furthering the relationship of humanity in this cannabis plant, is more important than any of our individual personalities. It's more important than any of our individual egos. And I, for one, am not going to give up until we all reach that end zone together. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.